Let's pay homage to the Lord Buddha, our master, our great teacher, the unvanquished one, undefeated one, unparalleled one, the teacher who is 10,000 world system, and we will renew our pledge, our promise, and our oath by chanting Namaskar 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. I believe that you all have gathered here, you all have come here with a clear purpose, that is the one and only resolve. So today we are going to talk about the Anicca. You may have heard the word. What is the English term Anicca? Impermanence. So I would like to appeal the wise people. The Buddha has told that Panyavantassa ayandammo nayandammo duppanyassa. This Dhamma is for wise people. This Dhamma is for wise people, not for the fools. Wise people means not educated people. Those who can understand what is good and bad people are called wise people. And bad people are called uneducated people, not uneducated people. Those are called those who cannot understand what is good and bad. You have to keep your all problems outside the door. Your all problems, what's happening in your life. Then you can listen to the Dhamma and understand what I am telling. So the first thing, don't take anything as at face value. Whatever I say, you have to test. Otherwise, don't believe anything just because I am say. I am sincere that I am telling truth, but I could be wrong. The sincerity and truthfulness are two things. So I think that what I am saying is true, but it may be sometimes wrong. So the thing that you have to do, you have to test it, right? So by that purpose, you have to listen the Dhamma. So the Buddha comes into this world once in a very long time. The Buddha comes into this world with a long time, and he preached us to Anitya, Dukkha, and Anatma. Impermanent, suffering, and non-soul. So, you may have heard the Big Bang theory. Have you heard Big Bang? It's a modern theory, Big Bang theory. It is explain us, it teach us one singularity exploded, and the world as we know today is the result of that singularity. So if we rewind or revise the time or million or trillion years to back, we go to that singularity. So as well as the all teaching of the Buddha, if you were to collapse or if you were to rewind into 3 words, how would be that? Anitya, Dukkha, and Anatma. Those are the 3 words. Where there is Buddhism, there has to be Anicca. Without Anicca, there cannot be seen Buddhism. So all teachings of the Buddha based on the Anicca. That's why Anicca is so important. English term is impermanent. We know the word, but the meaning behind it, the gravity behind, the feeling behind it is lost. That's why you and I are still in the samsara. Understand? We know the word, we know impermanence, anicca, but that's not the feeling, the gravity and behind meaning, not the impermanent. We should understand the gravity, the behind meaning. Then we can, the day we grasp the meaning completely, that's we complete our journey. No longer we travel in samsara. So, however, we should try to grasp the full meaning of this term, right? Before coming to the topic, I want you to understand some points. To understand impermanence, before we should understand how our mind works. Normally, you know how does the mind work, but the process of the mind we should understand little bit. Our mind has a there is a natural inclination, and there is a self-defense mechanism in our mind. What's that mean? Self-defense mechanism. Our mind has a self-defense mechanism. What is it called? That means our mind doesn't like to think about. Mind means yourself, right? Our mind doesn't like to think about the things that he doesn't like to think. Is it wrong? Our mind doesn't like to think about the things that he doesn't like to think about, right? Keep in the sentences in your mind, because each and every sentence statement I say is important for the understand the impermanent, right? So how does the mind work? Self-defense mechanism. It means mind doesn't like to think about the things he doesn't like to think about. So if we take the impermanent as a negative thing, negative feeling, what did the mind does? It kick out, because mind doesn't like to think about that. So every teaching of the Buddha we should contemplate or we should study happily. If is something learn with unhappy, the mind is not like to teach it, learn it. So however, we try to learn the process of mind. Then I want you to tell that the mind. When I say that your experience in your school time, what are the memories come into first? Bad memories or good memories? When our mind is automatically, basically positive. Basically, generally come into our memories. All memories are mixed bag, but first come into our memory the good things, good events, right? The day we punishment, getting beaten, those are coming to after the good memories, right? So always I want you to tell that our mind is always positive, right? Mind like to think about the good things. He doesn't like to think about the bad things. You think that when your mother or father died, unless someone prompt or unless remind it, it doesn't come into your mind every time, right? That means the bad memories in our mind suppressed and erased by the memory, right? That is the mechanism of the mind. So mind wants to always be happy. And the thing that I teach this Dhamma friends, so I want you to understand the impermanence as the positive thing. Because people get the impermanence as a negative thing. Because you think that mother is anicca, father is anicca, world is anicca. That means world is impermanent, changing. The changing means arising and falling, arising and dying, right? Always changing, right? So if we take the impermanent as a negative thing, our mind kick it out, right? So we think about we should think the impermanence, otherwise anicca, as a positive thing, right? So next thing that I want you to tell that there are so many people here who does not like to be respected by other people. Everyone like to be respected, but if one engage in the fault, do you like to tell that I did the mistake? Do you like to tell that no? If it is a good things, we like to tell that I did this one. But if it is a bad thing, we automatically come up the excuses. This is why I did this. This is why I had to do this. So always our mind like to get the credit, but don't like to undermine ourselves. That's the process of our mind, right? So we should understand the process of our mind, because we think that me as a valuable thing. Me as a valuable thing. We think, as well as little bit I am nervous because my first Dhamma talk, okay? I want to be comfortable first, okay? Right. Then we think that we think that me as a valuable thing. Me means self. So we think that our body and our mind is not two things, it's a one thing. Our body is represent our self. That's the way we think. We never think that our mind means self, right? We think that both are same, right? Our body is represent that our self. That's why when you want to go to the party or somewhere, some event, you go in front of the mirror and beautify your face, makeup, all the things, right? You think that your body is represent yourself, right? The connection, the mind and body, the mental connection, we have to break. To break the mental connection, we have to we should understand the impermanent, anicca, this concept. Understanding the concept, we can break the mental connection between the body and mind. So you think that, you suppose that when you hire a car, you say it's a hire car. Have you ever feel that your body you hire, your mind is using your body? Sometimes your mind misuse your body to accomplish its purpose. Mind use our body to accomplish their purpose. Sometimes our mind misuse us. Mind cannot do the things because he hire our body for what? To achieve its purpose. Our body doesn't want anything. The body that we use need what? Food, oxygen, those things. Those are called requisites, right? They are needed things. They are not wanted. They are needed. The all thing that we want need for our mind. The needs things. The need things are needed for the body. There are two words in English, want and need. The wanted things are needed for mind. The needed things are needed for the body, right? We should understand. When we hire a car, we say it hire car. And we never think like that our body. We never think our body, I use this body 30 years. I need for 20 years. Need more 20 years. Then after that, no need this. Right? We never think that. But what do? We always do maintain our body. Like when we get a car, we hire. Right? Likewise, we use our body, right? Now I ask a question, right? My pace or a pace that I use. How to break the mental connection? You can use these phrases you cannot attain Nibbana by saying like this, but you can break the connection, body and mind. You think, this is my face, this is my finger, this is my wife, husband, my car. You think, then there is no difference, you and your possession, right? My car, it's own to me. There is no difference, distinction. Car and my bed. You think that my bed, my bottle, my cup, right? My cup. If it is my bed, I don't like you to sleep because it is my bed, right? Because the bed and me is one thing, and there is no distinction. Me and bed. If you think that a bed that I use for sleep, is there a distinction between me and bed? Yes, there is a distinction because it's a bed, just a bed I use for the sleep. That's the way we should think the all thing we associate and we use. The everything we use. There is nothing that process to us, belong to us. Everything we use and associate. Then you think that my face, a face that I use, right? How can you praise my children? My children, the children who are with me. Then my wife, do you use for your wife? Can you say like that? No, you cannot say that. Then the wife will be angry with you and mad with you, right? You cannot say that everything that my car, my house, those things we can use that I use, but you cannot use your wife, right? You think that in your mind. A person that I use to make my life easier, right? You don't think that my wife. If you think my wife, you can't survive without your wife. You always regret, right? You will understand what I am saying with the conversation when going more ahead. So we have to break the connection, mental connection, my car, my house, thinking like that. The thing that I use, a person that I associate or make my life easier. There are some person who are single. Why they are single? Because they haven't a person who can make their life easier. That's why they are single, stay single, right? So always the things that we use and we associate, we make a bridge. If I say my mother, my father, there is a bridge between my mother and my father. The attachment, there is a attachment. The teaching of the Buddha teach us to destroy that attachment, right? To destroy that attachment, we must have the knowledge of Anicca, right? That's why the knowledge of Anicca is important, right? We didn't come to the point yet, right? Now I come to the point. To render the meaning of Anicca, sometimes I use the two words vexatious and vexation, right? Vexatious is a knowledge, vexation is a feeling, right? You think that, now we have come to the point. Now you will understand what's the importance of the Anicca, and you will realize how fortunate we are, because you come for the first time to listen my Dhamma sermon. So you will realize what's the other people who haven't listened this, they think the impermanent is as a negative thing, right? They read the all thing, right, regarding the impermanence, but they learn this and they associate impermanent with negative feeling, negative sense. So understanding the feeling behind it, gravity behind it, you can contemplate on the anicca with happily, with jovial way, with funny way. Contemplating on anicca is a funny thing, right? Now you will realize how it is, how much is it funny. One day, one person come and ask the Buddha, how can become attain the Sotapanna? How can attain the Sakudagami Anagami? Then the Buddha asked him to concentrate on anicca, dukkha and anatta, right? So what's the importance of anicca? You think that you go for a walk every morning and there is a bench, right? When you want to take a rest, you go and sit that bench. Today you go for the walk and you want to take a rest. Today bench is very fresh, but you don't know it's been freshly painted. Someone has painted it. You don't know it painted. You go and usually you go and sit, as well as today also you go and sit. What happened? The paint is get wet your body, right? Hands, the moment you sat on the bench, the painted things get wet you. You become sad and disappointed. You think that if it is a freshly painted bench, there should be a notice or something like a board or notice, right? You think, but there was not a board or notice. So you went and sat on the bench. You were disappointed. That's the vexation, because now you are feeling sad, right? You don't know that bench is painted. The second example, you go for the walk and the bench is freshly painted and there is a notice. What is supposed to be? This is freshly painted. Then you go and sit. No, you don't sit, because you are aware about that, because there is an indication that there is a notice. Likewise, the anicca is indicated as, inform us. If you attach or if you touch something, touch means attach. Always I say touch. You have to replace the word attach, because the example that I use, I have to say the touch, right? You have to replace the word the attach, right? If you touch something, if you attach something, you have to suffer, right? Right. Now, first example, there is no notice board. Second example, there is a notice board. So, second example, you didn't go to sit on the bench. But fools think that they are inborn fools. They think that had it not been the board, I could have sat. That's the way fools think. We are not talking about the fools. We are talking about the wise people. The people that are aware of the impermanent, right? So sometimes you might understand little bit, but I by using example more and more, I try to convey what is impermanent. The second example, the Anicca is impermanent is Dhamma friends. It is a warning sign, right? You think that when you walking around the board tree, you might see there is a board. Using boards, I explain this because Anicca is something that warning sign, right? We are informed if we attach something, we suffer. So Anicca is an early warning, right? We can associate people, we can use the things without attach, right? If we attach something, we become suffer. So in this example, the second example that I use, you might see in the around the board tree, there are notice caution, slippery, and wet. This place is wet. There is indicator. Then you can't go that place. If you go to that place, you will be slippery. But you can go other places. Except the wet place, you can go around the other places. That's the importance of impermanence or anicca. So knowing anicca, impermanence, you can associate without attachment. You can associate people. You can use the things that you use. Then you must have to understand anicca or impermanence is a knowledge, right? If we have a knowledge, we prevent from falling into troubles, right? We must have knowledge. Then anicca is what? Is it a feeling? No, it is not a feeling. Some people take it as a feeling. Anicca is not a feeling, it is a knowledge. Anicca, dukkha, anatma. Whether you call it anicca or anitya doesn't matter. But anicca means, impermanent means knowledge of impermanent, right? If you have a knowledge about something, that you are powerful. If you have the knowledge of anicca, you are very powerful, right? If you have the knowledge of dukkha, you are more powerful, right? So we have to collect the knowledge regarding the anicca, dukkha and anatma. I will explain that with another example. So when you were childhood, you go with a knife. Your parents see you are with a knife. Then your parent, what they do? They will give the permission to keep a knife? No. Why is that? You have to think. Now I am going to tell you the importance of knowledge, right? Because anicca or impermanent is a knowledge. If we have the more knowledge of anicca, we are less attached, right? We don't attach with anything, people or things, right? If we don't have a good knowledge of anicca, impermanence, then worlds or people can control us. That's why you are suffer most of the time, right? People can control if we are attached with people or something. If you are attached with your mobile phone, when it's break, what will happen? You will become sad, disappointed, frustrated, right? That's the problem. We can break the attachment. How? Knowing and improving and increasing the knowledge of impermanent, right? There is nothing another way. The only way, you have to increase the knowledge of impermanent. That's the only way, right? Now we are going to equip the knowledge. right? The Buddhist teaching equipped us with the knowledge, right? So now, when you are in childhood, the parent didn't allow to go with a knife, right? Because why? You don't have the knowledge. You don't know how to use a knife. You play with the knife. You cut various things using the knife. But when you become adult and older, you go with a knife. Your parents come and ask you to keep it away when you are adult? No. But has the knife changed? The knife that you use in childhood and adult, the knife hasn't changed. But person has changed. Yes, person has changed. Especially his knowledge has changed. When you were in childhood, you had a good knowledge how to use the knife. But when you become adult, you have a good knowledge how to use the knife, right? That's why parents allow you to use the knife, right? So that's the importance of knowledge, right? So if you have more knowledge regarding the impermanent, we can less attach and we can avoid the suffering. The Buddhist teaching the Buddhist teaching is not talking about the suffering. Most of the people think that the newcomers to the Buddhism, they think that the Buddhist teaching are always talking about suffering, right? And letting go, giving up. The Buddha has told us, let go, right? The people don't like to let go. Why? Because they have earned all things. Their family, their job, their money, they have earned with work hard, right? You didn't get anything by default, right? You earn everything, each and every single coin you earned with very hard. So you don't like to let go of. The people misunderstood that the Buddha had taught that let go, gave up. No, the Buddha had not taught us to let go, right? I will tell you, when you have the enough knowledge of impermanent, you don't need to let go. It will letting go, right? Letting go. You don't need to let go. People are very afraid to let go, right? Now you think that. Then now I am comfortable. I will explain you, right? Now you are in a relationship. The boy is bad, right? The boy is bad. He drinks, he gamble, he whatever every bad thing he is engaged, right? The girl, he's trust on him. She doesn't know anything about the boy is doing. But the parents know about the boy. He is bad. Parents ask her to let go of him. But the girl doesn't like to let go. Why? She doesn't know anything. She doesn't like to let go of him just because their parents ask her, right? Because why? She hasn't enough knowledge, right? At the moment. But in the course of time, in due course, she witness his boyfriend is with another girlfriend, right? And cheat on him, right? Cheat her, right? Then she realized and she don't need to let go of. Automatically letting go, right? Why is that? Now at the earlier she hadn't the knowledge, right? Realization. She hadn't. But in due course, she witnessed and she gathered the knowledge, she collected the knowledge by seeing the incident. So if we have the good knowledge of impermanent and the knowledge, that's why there is a quotation that knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power, right? The knowledge is more powerful when it is related to the anicca, right? So letting go, however we have to let go everything, right? Whether willingly or unwillingly, we have to let go of the things that we love will be let go us, right? They are, however, will be away, right? So we have to know the situation, and we have to keep our mind, make our mind that situation. So the knowing about the impermanence more and more, we can easily let go without painful. So you may have in autumn season, the leaves falls down automatically, right? That's the way. In that way, when we have more knowledge of the impermanence, right? Impermanence, when we have the less attachment with the things that we use and the things that we associate, we can let go easily. And the next thing I will explain. When you are going in the car, there is a dashboard. It indicates various things. When it is fuel is over, it indicates the fuel is over. Then you think that, oh, stupid light. If had not been this, had it not been there, I could have driven fast. Is it the problem, the light? No. Is it helpful, the light? If we have a dashboard, the light will help us to get rid of falling troubles. Then what we should do? We have to stop at a filling station and refill the fuel. Likewise, impermanent, right? Early warning every time. I will use various examples and you get the idea, and if you didn't understand, you can ask and I will explain, right? Then now first example, you went to the bench, right? Then first time there was not a notice, so you became disappointed. And second example, there was a notice and you didn't sit, and you didn't sit because you were aware about that, right? In this example, the dashboard you can understand the impermanent because it indicates it early warn, right? Now fuel is over, it's getting over, it indicates that on and off, it indicates that fuel is over. Then you have to go to the filling station and refill, right? Likewise, you can prevent the traps. When you go to the road, there are road signs: turn to left, turn to right, uphill, downhill. Likewise, so impermanent also, it's related to that. So now I want you to explain the impermanent is as the attachment, right? Attachment means if you more attach something, you will more suffer. You will more suffer. As well as you can control your attachment. You can reduce your attachment by knowing the impermanence. by knowing the impermanence. That's why now people think that the impermanent is, I told you earlier, is a negative thing. You have heard that, have you ever heard that the Buddha was the happiest man in the world? Then he must be if it is an impermanent, it is a negative thing, the Buddha should be a saddest man, right? Then we should understand we have misunderstood that, right? So one time the Buddha say Khatamachananda Anicca Sanya. If it is a Khatamachananda Anicca Sanya in Girimananda Sutta. So at that time, if it is a negative thing, the Buddha always should be sad mood, right? Long pace. The Buddha always happy mood, was always a happy mood. He was not a bad mood, right? So the Buddha had long years, but he didn't had a long pace. The Buddha always was happy, right? So because of he was very happy, and he was gathered with the all knowledge of impermanence, right? So that's why the Buddha was the greatest man in the world. So these things, the impermanent, the dukkha and anatma, non-soul, we should gather more and more knowledge. Then we can easily let go of, and easily we can less attach, and we can break the bridge I told you. So the thing that we think that we have family, I have mother, I have wife, I have car, we think that, right? You think that actually I have a car or I have a house. If it is your, you must have ability to control it, right? No one can control anything, right? Even you, right? You sometimes you become sick, you become illness, right? If it is you can't control anything, then is it how can we say that my car or my house or my there is nothing that we cannot say, there is nothing possession to me, right? So everything we have to left one day, we have to leave one day. So before leaving, we have to make our mind, we have to release the all things our mind. We have to ability to break the connection, me and the external things. So using the impermanent, we can break the mental connection with the external thing. Otherwise, when it become change, your external thing, people and things, sometimes you become sad, sometimes you become happy. So no one can control you, nothing can control you. When you break the attachment, when you destroy the attachment, you and the things that you associate and use, right? If you have any question, you can ask regarding the impermanence. Now you have a positive feeling regarding do you happy about the anicca, knowing about the anicca, right? Impermanent. If you have more knowledge about regarding the impermanent, the benefit things, the advantage that you have is you can less attach, you can avoid the attachment, right? then no one can control you, nothing can control you. You have the freedom in your mind, right? That's the benefit thing you can acquire. By listening, you acquire the merits. So merit is the things that we define, right? The people think that we have gained everything by default without reason. If you have a good family, how did you get the good family? If you have a good wife, a good friend, good husband, your good children, how did you get it? It automatically you get it? No. There is a reason. Each and everything happen in the world, there is a cause and effect, right? There is a cause and effect. The things that we have experienced in present, the things that we have done in the past, right? The karma we are calling. So karma means the merits and demerits, right? If we have done more merits, we can lead a comfortable life. If you are now leading a comfortable life, that means you have done a lot of merits in past. If you are leading a miserable life in now, that means you have done a lot of bad karma in past. So every moment you spend just because of merits, right? Each and every moment you spend something, that is merits. Each and every moment, right? You came here today just because of merit, right? The other people didn't come, they haven't enough merit. Some people experience some bad things and good things. So one day a man went to the Buddha and asked why people are very different. Some people are very beautiful, ugly, sick, and good health. Why? What's the difference? Some people get divorced, some people lead a good family life. Each and everything has a reason, right? If we have acquired more merit, we can lead a comfortable life, right? So merit is more important. So by listening more and more, worshipping the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha community, by respecting, you can acquire a lot of merit. So by listening the Dhamma, you acquired a lot of merits today. So the merit that you accumulated, we will transfer the divine beings, guardian beings. So they will support you, protect you when you are working and when you are living here present, right? So the other merits we can transfer the departed ones, your relatives and your teachers, those who teach you, right? You can memorize all the people, and they will be happy, and by receiving the merits they will rejoice and they will support you, protect you, right? So we will remember them, and by thinking, by memorizing them, we will transfer merits for them. And the Dhamma friends who is sponsored for the Dhamma talk, we will transfer the merits for them, and may they be happy and may they be well. They become successful their life, and the all people who have gathered here may they be able to attain Nibbana. By thinking like that, we will rejoice the all merit. Recite the stanza, and we will conclude the Dhamma sermon by transferring the merits, divine beings and departed ones. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanam. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanam. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්칸තු ලෝක සාසනං ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ. Okay, I will bless you. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabba rogo vinasatu mate bhavattvantarayu sukhi digayuko bhava abhivadana silissa niccang vaddhapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukham balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu.